Alright. When one door closes. To Weezabard. So I realized I forgot to post one last place. Let us go talk with Vritra. Ratsatan. Home. Ah, Thorak. One of my clerks was just here with a message for you. The students of Baldessian request your presence in Shylan at your earliest convenience. Indebted as I am to our friends, I had hoped that I too might be of service, but it is you alone that they require. If you've no pressing business, pray make your way to the Baldessian Annex at once. Ochika awaits your arrival. In the meantime, I shall continue showing Aishdaya the city. From notable landmarks to the people's lives, there is still much and more for her to see. Farewell for now, my friend. I look forward to the day we set forth on another adventure together. Hopefully it won't be a lifetime away from him. Alright. Also, sorry, I need to adjust one more thing. Hello. There we go. My little PNG should be a little bit more active now. So yeah, I have wrestled with myself for the past year to convince myself to stream Dawntrail after so long. My sister says I'd like it, so we're giving it a go today. I actually say a year. When did... let me look this up. When did Dawntrail come out? Now that I think about it. Dawntrail... July 2nd. So yeah, for more than a year I've been wrestling with myself to come play this. It's just hard to play this after the high that was Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. A warm and hearty welcome to you, Thorak. I gather you received our message? Please wait here while I fetch Krile and Graha. Sorry, 1 second. I just realized y'all can't hear the sweet music. Thank you for coming on such short notice, and forgive us for sending for you so soon after your trials in the void. To say nothing of your grueling battle against the 12. Now then, we aren't actually the ones who require your presence, but Erenville. He stopped by recently, you see, and asked us to reach out to you on his behalf. What does the bunny boy want with me? I imagine you're as surprised as we are, given that he was supposed to be away on a long expedition. Something must have necessitated a change in his plans. All he would tell me is that there is someone whom he wishes to meet Thorak. He also mentioned that he would be attending to business at the studio. Shall we look for him there? Of course. See you, Ojika. Now then, where is Arenville?
Arenville!
Apologies for the wait. I hope I haven't called you away from anything important. I chanced upon some commissioned items at my destination, so I thought I might deliver them.
Where did you go, if I may ask?
The New World. Tural.
You went to Tural? Then the person who you wish to introduce...
Aye, she hails from there. I present to you...
But it seems you've lost her.
Did she wander off?
Sorry. It's just so different here. I can't help but want to explore.
Well, while you were exploring, your candidate came to us. This is him. The adventurer you crossed the seas to meet.
Ooh, you weren't exaggerating. It's plain he's no ordinary man.
She must be a warrior.
I'm Clamat, claimant to the throne of Tulihuela.
Tuliyola.
Tuliyola.
It's Tural's governing nation. The capital bears the same name.
I'll get to the point. I want you to come with me to my homeland.
Given the magnitude of the request, perhaps you should explain why you're making it?
Of course. Soon, an event of great import will be held in Tural. The Rite of Succession. Taking the form of a contest, it will determine who next ascends the throne. As daughter to its present keeper, I will participate. And I have every intention of winning.
Oops.
I was searching for champions to join me when Arenville told me about you. A mighty warrior who knows no fear, who sweeps aside terrible fiends as if they were reeds, who flew to the edge of existence, saved our star.
Arenville.
She asked who Eorzea's greatest hero was, and so I told her. Much more elegantly, I might add.
Now you know why. You'll come to Tural, yes?
Wait, let's all just slow down. Wooklamat, was it? You claim to be of the royal family, but is it not the Mamulja who rule in Tural?
Tulihuela is a nation of many peoples. Not only the Mamulja, as some across the seas are quick to assume. That said, its present ruler is a Mamulja, and one blessed with two heads besides. He's also my father. Not by blood, obviously, but he raised me as his own, and that's what matters.
So that is the way of it. My apologies if I was indelicate.
Hardly. I know little
Jeez.
about your land and nothing about your parentage. But in my eagerness, I've gotten ahead of myself. I can't expect you to agree on the spot when we've only just met. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Just know, though, that if it's adventure you seek, you could do far worse than come with me. Now, this is only a rumor. But apparently, the contest will involve the fabled city of gold and the legendary beast, Valyarmanda.
Valyarmanda.
Tell me that doesn't pique your interest.
Golden City. I've heard about it before.
So the tales have reached even these shores. Can't help but feel proud.
I advise you not to put much store by these rumors. Golden cities are not but a dreamer's fancy.
Says the dreamer who was bent on finding one when he was a child. Just because you failed doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Tuliolal and the Golden City. Just like in the letter to Grandfather.
They really went all in on the on the El Dorado thing from the trailer.
Regardless of what the contest may entail, it'll be no simple thing. If I'm to triumph, I need capable and dependable companions. So let's go on a hunt together. There's no better way to get acquainted.
Of course not. Anvil's already. I'm so done with this. I mean, you can hardly blame him. Oh, I think I know the issue. 1 second. Let's do this. Haha! You will unfortunately capture that too, so... The game is afoot! The chance to see not only Tyrol, but the fabled city, Golden City besides? This is the stuff of grand adventures, my friend. Which is not to say you should hastily accept this invitation, mind. There's still a great deal we do not know. So let us begin to rectify that by first getting acquainted with our visitor in the manner that she suggests. I am not certain what might be a suitable location for her hunt, however. When I was at the guild earlier, I learned about a petition from researchers on the Isle of Ham. You went there not long ago and culled some unruly fauna, of course, but according to recent reports, an ordinarily docile fauna has grown savage. It's believed that they've been unsettled by some manner of predator, and so the researchers seek assistance with identifying and dispatching it. As part of your hunt, perhaps you might answer the petition? The Isle isn't far, and we would also be helping those in need. That works for me. Just so you know, I've honed my skills against some of the fiercest beasts in Tyrol. Whatever this creature is, it had better be able to put up a proper fight, or it'll end before we have the chance to get acquainted. Jeez. And before we can prove ourselves capable and dependable companions, My apologies. I must see to some preparations. Pray go on ahead to the isle. I will join you as soon as possible. There goes the potato. If the rest of you are ready, let us head to the harbor. This being guild ship business, it should be simple enough to secure a vessel. Jeez. The game is afoot. At which point, when is the game at hand? Hey. That's a good look for you. Keep doing you, Yoshi P. I am also already level 92. I did some of the PvP series. Actually, is there a new one? No, not yet. But I did get at least the Magitech Slasher identification key. Ah, it's a duty. Cryo is acting a little strange, don't you think? This is just a simple hunt. I wonder what preparations she needs to make. We have the loan of a ship from one of the captains. A cheery fellow. I can operate the vessel, so we don't need to trouble him to take us. So we have to take a ship? And I've barely set foot on dry land. Oh well, I suppose this is for a good cause. A hunt! Come on, let's get going. Upon boarding the ship, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. In addition, you will be required to participate in battle. Your progress will be saved at certain points in the event that you are defeated. You will be able to try again from the most recent of these. Please note that if you enter battles associated with other quests, log out from the game, the progress will be lost. Channeling a little bit of Teal'c from Stargate. I've been binge watching that recently.
From here, we must walk.
So much ice. It rivals even Yogg-Tural.
Yogg-Tural.
Oh, a white bear. I wonder what it tastes like.
Every human pioneer ever.
Remember, we're here to deal with creatures that have been deemed an unacceptable danger. Do not attack anything else unprovoked.
I know. So this is the isle where ether literally bursts forth.
One second, I realized I spelled her name wrong to my sister.
Aye, the Isle of Ham. The geysers lie deep inland, however.
You really are knowledgeable. Kona told me nothing about this place.
I doubt your brother managed to come out this way. He's like to have toured facilities like Labyrinthos, however.
the great big cavern under the city. It's amazing that they could make a sky down there complete with a sun.
This brother of yours, he has been to Charlian.
He has. Kona's my second older brother, and until recently he was a student in the city. He went on and on about technological amusements. It made me want to come here too one day. And so I did. I think I understood something of how he felt when I set foot in his beloved studium.
He went to the studium? Your brother must be quite a scholar. But I wonder, like you, he'd be royalty, yes? With such a personage coming to Charlian to receive an education would surely have caused a stir, yet I recall nothing of the sort.
He consulted with the head of the studium beforehand, that his identity might remain secret. Being Mikote, he had no trouble blending in. He's adopted like me, you see. One time, though, he almost let it slip to a professor. It was all he could do to parry the barrage of questions.
Having no shortage of questions myself, I can imagine.
Ask whatever you like. I don't mind. But I maintain, hunting together is the best way to get to know someone.
I suppose you could do worse.
The researchers should be up ahead. Let's find them and learn what we can.
Excuse me. Ah, here we go.
The researchers should be just ahead. There. The building to the northeast.
So, ordinarily harmless creatures have grown savage.
Don't know what's got them riled up, but I'll take down any that thinks to try me. Right, let's hunt our fill.
I almost did that wrong for a second. Oh gosh, it feels so good, admittedly, to play Reaper again. Admittedly, it's been something I've been missing for a while.
Look! Someone's in trouble.
Yeah, taste my ass.
These animals are usually so docile.
Hello, hello. Oh, thank goodness you've come. I take it you're the one who answered our petition. Wait, aren't you? You are! Thorak, the adventurer who saved our star. Would that our meeting was under a better circumstance. I was conducting a routine inspection of the transporter here when I suddenly found myself surrounded. You'll find more of the same across the chasm, once docile creatures grown strangely aggressive. My colleagues there can tell you more. If you'll give me just a moment, I can finish checking our equipment.
We really are famous.
And for good reason. as you'll soon see for yourself.
There, it should be safe to cross now. Away we go!
Quite an interesting contraption you've got here.
Is that our petitioner? Let's go and have a chat.
Distressed and concerned researcher. If you come to answer the petition, you should speak with my colleague here. The adventurer come to answer our petition. Oh, wait. The adventurer come to answer my petition, I presume? We're most fortunate to have one of your considerable skill here to aid us. A creature of unknown origins has been sighted on the island in recent days, and we believe its presence has affected the local fauna. The animals beyond this gate are the worst affected we've encountered thus far, though we dare not go back. Your task is to quell any threats you find and search for traces of the beast responsible for all of this. If you should find anything at all, we would be most grateful if you would share it with us. Now we're playing a little bit of Monster Hunter. I imagine new warrior ability. Impressive, says
Come
Grandma.
on, let's pick up the creature's trail.
A beast carcass. You find ravaged beast remains torn to shreds by sharp talons. Struck down defending its territory, most like.
These claw marks. I've seen their like before.
You have.
It's starting to feel like a proper hunt.
Raging Ronique? Tattered plumage. You find feathers. The beast has feathers, eh? What is this? The feathers are scattered on the ground. There are signs of a fierce struggle.
Feathers. But did they belong to the predator or the prey?
So, how do you prefer our prey? Roasted or raw?
You presume it's even safe to eat?
Personally roasted myself. Focus, we've no time for picking flowers. Can't talk to anyone right now. Animal leavings. Ow! The cloying stench of fresh leavings assails your nostrils. Whatever beast left them is likely still close
Still
by.
fresh. Whatever this beast, it cannot be far.
Oh.
Do you suppose they're upset we disturbed their home? Who knows? If they're spoiling for a fight, then hey, we got one.
I did do that wrong. They didn't have Death's design on them. Oh well. No harm, no foul.
Let's head back and report what we found.
Can I jump over this? Darn invisible walls. The enemy of every gamer. Cutscene. Oh no. She doesn't have supervision. Oh my.
Powerful wings and razor-sharp talons. worthy prey. Ah! What is that thing?
A giant colibri?
It speaks?
It's heading towards the falls.
I'll stay with the researchers. The creature, I leave to you.
Come, Woklamat.
Right.
You want a worthy hunt, right?
Just so we're clear, I wasn't startled by the beast earlier. It caught me by surprise, that's all.
Forgive me, but I failed to see a difference.
I'm getting hungry. Let's be done with this so we can eat. Think you're clever, huh? I'll rip off that beak and roast you on a spit! Talk all you like, Bird. I'm going to have the last laugh. Oh, I enjoy sinking my teeth into you. Shut up already, you plastic bird!
I've never seen such an enormous colibri.
Not good. Quickly, gather together.
Hello?
I've got you.
That was too close.
Whoops. Ow.
Spread out, everyone.
And we killed the giant, I guess, parrot.
And I had barely limbered up.
It was a terrible foe, but no match for your axe.
Only to be expected.
Someone's a little scaredy cat.
You were pretty impressive yourselves. I was right to invite you on a hunt. But what a curious bird that was. Though we have similar in Tural, they don't grow so big or use such dirty tricks.
Speaking of dirty tricks,
Aye, dirty and despicable. Otherwise, I could have easily...
Leave this to me.
so that's what Kryl was doing.
Kryl?
I am terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
She arrived as I was seeing the researchers to safety. It was all I could do to keep up with her after I explained what happened.
So this is what you meant by seeing to preparations?
After hearing of the contest, I thought how wonderful it would be to join you. In coming here, I wanted to demonstrate my skill at arms to Wuklamut. Alas, it seems I missed most of the action.
That was amazing! The piece didn't stand a chance!
I'm glad to have been of service.
May I ask what inspired this change?
You will recall the time you descended to the ethereal sea in search of Heidelin. Recognizing that my skills were inadequate, I chose to provide support from afar, rather than join you. It was the same when you set forth for Ultima Thule. How it pained me to stay behind, again and again.
I thought this said painted for a second.
That's what inspired this change. Ever since the final days were averted, I've used every spare moment to hone my craft. As you all have adapted your methods to suit the circumstances, I started by considering how I might best contribute. And after much deliberation, I arrived at my answer. With the esoteric art passed down by the legendary Archon realm, Pictomancy. As I recall, you have embraced versatility to effectively complement a certain someone's style. What I do is much the same. Like you, I don't want to be left behind.
Indeed. I must say, you appear to be especially keen on being involved in the ritual of succession. Is there any particular reason?
Yes, there is. This letter from Tuli Yolal. It was addressed to my grandfather Galuf and turned up among the students' archives. The ink was faded, so I couldn't fully make out the sender's name. Galul, someone.
Jaja. Gulul Jaja. That's my father, the Dawn servant. What does the letter say?
While much of it isn't legible, it appears to be a request to investigate the Golden City.
A request to investigate the Golden City? From the Dawn servant himself?
Well, well. Seems it may be more than a rumor after all.
Being a member of the royal family, it was my hope that you could confirm the authenticity of this letter.
I can say for a fact that my father didn't write this. Given how culturally diverse Tuliyolal is, it was decided some time ago that a common language was needed. But instead of elevating an existing tongue and its speakers above all others, we looked to those widely spoken overseas and created an altogether new one. The similarities to your common tongue also make it quite easy to communicate in these situations, no? This letter, however, is entirely in Eorzean. If Father had written this, he would have been in Turali. And what's more, it bears a wax seal. We don't bother with them.
So the letter is fraudulent, then?
Oh, I didn't mean to say that. My father's signature is genuine, as far as I can tell, so perhaps he simply dictated it.
I see. Oh, thank you for the confirmation. It seems my grandfather indeed had dealings with Tuli Yolal.
So it wasn't Galul Jaja, Galul, who wrote that, but he instructed someone else to write it in that tongue. Got
I
it.
can't help but be curious as to what exactly he was doing there. In order to help us decide on a course of action, would you mind if I asked you some questions about your home?
By all means. After all, learning about one another was the purpose of this hunt. We can talk while feasting on this fellow. I, for one, am starving.
I don't think I can carry him out of here as much as you want to think otherwise.
We're eating that.
I mean, we killed it. Never say no, Graha. Never say no. Don't knock it till you try it. I will be right back really quick. And I am back. Oh, let's talk with everyone first. Thanks to Woklamat, we now know who sent the letter to grandfather. Among other things... Oh, thanks to Woklamat, we now know who sent this letter to grandfather, among other things. But many questions still remain. Now, I understand Kryl's feelings all too well. The desire to do one's part, it can be daunting to try and keep up, but nothing will change unless you take the first step. Of course. One inciting hunt that was, in absence, savor the reward. Yeah, Calibri burgers. With the wildlife pacified and researchers safe, our task is complete. This just leaves the matter of the Calibri meat. For better or for worse, there's really only one place we can take it here in Shylian, the last stand. Come, let us see the Dickon. Let us see what the Dickon can cook up for us. Dude, with how big that Calibri is, that is a feast for a lot of people right there. That was a huge Calibri. Although that does get me thinking, what could have been the inspiration behind that Calibri to become that large? Because normally they're about the size of, like, that Moogle over there. If not just a little bit bigger. Hey, Dickon. Well now, there's a famished face if ever I've seen one. What can I get for you, Thorak? Can you do something with this Calibri? Oh, bird meat from the hunt, you say? Leave it to me, I have just the recipe. It's a new dish I recently learned from sailors, and for you lots, it's on the house. Have as much as you like, here.
Come. Let's enjoy the bounty of our first outing together.
Someone was hungry.
I'd heard that Charlayan cuisine was terrible, but this is fantastic.
What is this? Oh, it smells spicy.
Oh, come now. Since when did you become so soft? It's not like we don't have spicy food in Tural, too.
Oh, she's going to lose it. Yeah, I know it. She's going to lose it.
According to Dickon, intensely hot dishes have become popular in Razadhan after a traveller ordered a curry with several times the usual amount of spice. So he started offering the same in order to please the growing Harnish population here in Sharlayan.
It's nothing I can't handle.
Your boorish manners reflect poorly on the both of us. I wish you would consider your station.
I swear, sometimes it feels like you open your mouth only to criticize.
Would I be correct in assuming you've known each other for a long time?
Straight to the bone.
I thick as thieves since we were little.
I beg to differ. She is a long-standing acquaintance. Nothing more.
Yeah, sure.
I see.
All this time you were from Tural. Oh, would that I had known sooner. There's so much I'd like to ask.
You and everyone else. I've kept it quiet so as to avoid the endless interrogations.
Well, if he's going to be a miser, I'll be happy to tell you about our homeland instead. Since ancient times, many peoples have called Tural home, and they've been fighting each other for nearly as long.
Tural is at war?
The fighting finally stopped some 80 years ago, when the reigning Dawn Servant unified the disparate communities and founded a new nation.
Okay.
And that's how Tuliolal came to be.
Since then, we've enjoyed an era of uninterrupted peace. But my father is getting old, and he wishes to relinquish the throne to a worthy successor. One who can preserve his legacy. Including myself, there are 4 claimants to the throne. But while we all have the right to participate, one among us cannot be allowed to rule.
A man who is too ambitious by half. Word of the Garlean Empire's collapse has reached Tural. While most are simply relieved, he sees weakness to exploit and would lead our armies across the seas on a campaign of conquest.
After everything my father has done to give us peace, he would drag us back into war. I can't allow it. No matter what, I must win this contest.
I understand your reasons. But this being an event that will dictate the course of your nation's future, is it appropriate for outsiders like us to be involved?
Oh, it's more than appropriate. The Dawn servant himself expressly encourages it. The ruler of Tural must navigate the intricacies of myriad cultures, and there's no better way to prove oneself qualified to do so than to work with foreign allies.
I guess that makes sense. If Tural is made up of multiple cultures in and of itself, it would make sense that they would seek other cultures to not only ally with, but also learn about their traditions and whatnot.
That's why I sought you out. Through our hunt, I've confirmed that you're a warrior of considerable skill, but more importantly, one of good character as well.
I don't know where you heard that, but that is completely wrong.
And so I ask you, will you lend me your strength and help me win the throne of Tuliolal?
I'm not busy with anything.
You don't need to decide right this moment. But I will need you if I'm to triumph over the competition. I'll stay here as long as I can while waiting for your answer.
In that case, allow us to prepare a room for you at the Baldessian Annex.
That's very kind of you. Oh, and one more thing. Once we finish eating, would you mind if I took the rest of the meat?
She is a very hungry Ronzo. Hey, Aaronville. Whether Woklamat has the markings of a ruler, I couldn't say, but I do know that she deeply cares for her nation and her people. Whether you choose to help her, though, is for you and you alone to decide. Think on it well. Now then, it's past time I reported our mission success to the guild ship. I would have done so sooner, but except Her Highness needed to have her royal meal. I shall come by the annex later. Till then. I don't need food. See ya, Ironbell. So far this expansion has been pretty entertaining. A mystery gift? The Coming Dawn. Well, I dare say we now have a fair grasp of Woklamat's situation. Still, you've been afforded time to consider her invitation. Why not use it to learn more about Tural? Numenon is bound to have some information on the continent. it certainly wouldn't hurt to be better informed. Quite right. Not only would it help you to make an informed decision, but if you do choose to go, you would be better prepared for what awaits. Come, my friend, let us be off to the archives. I think I remember The Last Stand, why it was named like this. It was, I think, a Charlayan professor who felt that the culinary arts of Charlayan were falling behind. And so this is, I guess, his culmination. The last stand for anything culinary in Charlayan. I'm sorry, I'm just reminiscing about Endwalker. I wish I could go back and play it for the first time again. Anyway, to the Numenon. Don't need to be listening to this old cat's reminiscings. Pudding Way? Under a tree? Are you learning about puddings? Wasn't needed to stop the final days after all. But I persevere. Once people taste it, they'll be even happier than they were before the apocalypse started. I just know it. Something else I remember is the Loprites were amazing. Jajaba. Blue covered books. The origins of blue magic can be traced back to the esoteric practices of the Wallaki, a tribe in the distant continent of Tyrol. The tribe holds nature in the highest, and in seeking to cultivate a spiritual connection with it, they have learned to harness the power of the wildlife around them. In exchange for teaching them the common tongue, I was permitted to live among them and train in their ways. Those days were some of the most grueling I remember, but they were tremendously rewarding. For instance, I had the privilege of visiting Lapis Canyon, the tribe's sacred grounds. It is so named for the ceruleum deposits that wells up to the surface, turning the entire canyon a brilliant blue. Under Shaman's watchful eye, I finally managed to master the Wallaki's arts and make the animal's power my own. As no name existed for it in the common tongue, I took the liberty of naming it Blue Magic. The reason I chose this color, as you will have doubtless gleaned, is for the significance it holds to the Wallaki. I cannot think of a name more fitting to honor the people from whom the noble magic was born. That does track with the Blue Mage quests. The Blue Mage quests, where the trainer for that learned blue magic from the Wallaki. I either forgot or didn't know that they hailed from Tyrol. It is impossible to adequately discuss Eorzean cuisine without speaking of that land from which many of our modern-day staples hail. The far western continent of Tyrol. Ogre pumpkins, ruby tomatoes, even the ubiquitous popito. These crops and more that regularly grace Eorzean dining tables trace their origins to the New World, as the place is known to most. The tale of this culinary immigration begins in the year 1498 of the 6th Astral Era, when a Lominsan sailor named Ketaram successfully traversed the Indigo Deep to arrive at the theretofore unknown continent. Ketaram spent several moons exploring inland, in the course of which he encountered the denizens of the sprawling nation of Mamulja. He was even granted an audience with their supreme leader, whose confidence he won along with permission to roam freely. Ketaram would return to Tyrol several times, but during the first expedition he charted the land and gathered myriad root vegetables and seeds to bring back to Limsa Lomensa. The most notable of these was the popito, whose ease of cultivation and nutritional value saw it quickly spread to all corners of Eorzea. produce was far from the only bounty of Kataram's expeditions to Tyrol. Many tantalizing recipes, such as the bean-filled burrito, and gripping legends such as that of the Golden City, reached our shores by way of his ship. To those outside of Kataram's circle, Tyrol largely remains shrouded in mystery, yet its influence on our cuisine cannot be overstated. Many scholars, myself included, would relish the chance to immerse themselves in the culinary culture of that faraway continent. I guess that tracks with Woklamat. She seems more inclined to eat than she does with anything else. And the library that goes down forever. The fated tome. Every land has given rise to unique wildlife, and the continent of Tyrol is no exception. Yet while some of her creatures have become a familiar sight in Eorzea, many more exist that are rarely seen that side of the Indigo Deep. This tome introduces a selected variety of species as described in the testimonies of sailors and adventurers. Alpaca! Alpaca accustomed to Tyrol's craggy mountain ranges. This four-legged beastkin has been domesticated for seemingly hundreds, if not thousands, of years. Their soft white fleece is highly prized by weavers, while their strong legs and sure-footedness make them capable beasts of burden. However, this ferocious scalekin is native to the dense jungles of Tyrol. The Mamuja have succeeded in taming them and utilize their prodigious strength for manual labor. While their immense size and power, it should come as no surprise that the wyvern is also employed as a siege beast. Enemy fortifications cannot long withstand this horned brute's rampage. Valor Gramada. I guess the way Woklamat says, Valley Armada. Tyroli folks holds that this bird-like creature is the mightiest of beasts, and the very embodiment of nature's power. Whether it exists beyond myth, however, is uncertain. So we've learned about a tribe and their magic, the culinary history that came from Tyrol to Eorzea, and the fauna that live there. Leather-bound book. Let us begin by comparing the geographical characteristics of the three great continents and Tyrol. The former stretches from east to west and lies entirely within the northern hemisphere. In contrast, the latter extends to the far reaches of both northern and southern hemispheres, and a difference immediately presents itself in the form of climate variance. Shifts in climate tend to be gentler when moving east to west, but harsher when moving north or south. Owing to this fact, longitudinal migration is far more common in history, whether it be by men, animals, or plants. A case in point is the Allegans, who rose to power in Aldenard before advancing east to Isbard. Their movement would be mirrored thousands of years later by the Garleans. Meanwhile, although the disparate tribes of Tyrol waged war with one another for generations, stymied by the climate, none could make any great headway north or south. Tribes hailing from frozen lands withered beneath the desert sun, while those that thrived in open plains could not pierce dense jungle. Such was the way of it, until the leader of the Mamuja succeeded in bringing the continent under one banner. Given the land's divided history and the reason thereof, one cannot but be in awe of this feat. Truly, it is a testament of the autarch's greatness. Having perused a wide selection of books relating to Tyrol, you are somewhat better informed about the potential destination. Grahatia will be eager to know what you have discovered. Should you wish to read these books again, speak with the reference page. Okay. A Vista? I would have thought I've gotten this Vista already. the Numenon, the pride of the studium and parent institution to the Great Gubal Library. This massive collection of scrolls and tomes is the largest of its kind. Knowledge from every corner of the world is collected here, and efforts to compile the Bibliotheca Historica, the ultimate repository of wisdom, is an endeavor without end. Scoured the library to your satisfaction, have you? Excellent. While there are a few books wholly dedicated to the subject of Tyrol, I dare say you found tidbits of useful information scattered here and there. But come, let's continue this outside. The Mammoths do not take kindly to chatter. Of course. Now then, I'm keen to hear your honest impressions. I got up and noticed that we read the very same book on cuisine. I was pleasantly surprised to find references to Tyrol within. Among them, did anything in particular pique your interest? I was rather taken with the tale of Ketaram. Ah yes, the renowned Lominson explorer who traversed the Indigo Deep and discovered the unknown West. And his accomplishments didn't end there. He traveled Tyrol extensively and even forged friendship with the Dawn Servants. If we were able to meet Ketaram, what things we could learn. Alas, all of this happened nigh 80 years ago, and he may no longer be alive to tell his tales. But moving on, did you perchance learn aught of the fauna of Tyrol, given the adventuring background? I expect the topic would interest you. I learned about the Valle Armanda. Now, why do I get the impression you're imagining pitting your skills against the fell beast? Unfortunately, I found scant details on your would-be prey. One source simply described it as an enormous winged creature with scales hard as steel that ruled the skies. I should like to see it with my own eyes, presuming it even exists. I thought I heard familiar voices. Long time no see, you two. Fancying running into you two here. Oh well, have some research of your own, do you? Aye, we hope to arm ourselves with knowledge that may benefit the Garlean people. Having forged a new trade agreement with Radzit Han, they will look to foster relations with other nations. This includes former imperial provinces. In view of this, we hope to find hints in history on how neighbors of differing races and ideologies might engage with one another. Now, out of the two of you, what endeavor brings you here this day? That is a long and awesome story. You have any gum? A nation composed of the disparate peoples of Tyrol. I dare say this is precisely the kind of example we seek. We do well to read on Tulialol ourselves. The contest, is Thorak the only one allowed to help Wuk-Lamat? There is no mention of such restrictions as I recall. On the contrary, Wuk-Lamat gave us the impression that she could have several companions. I think I know how to make the most of our respite. Follow me, Alphino. We have planning to do. Alize, wait! It would seem our plans have changed, if you'll excuse me. They never could rest on their laurels. Come, let's return to the annex. While we already have Alize and Alphino, we might as well get Oriange Thancred on this. Yeah, we can run there. Oh, another cutscene.
Oh, it's just... Despite all that we've learned, I can't help but feel we've yet to hear the whole story. What about you, my friend? Are you inclined to accept or refuse Wurklamat's request?
Think about who you're talking to, Graha. I never say no to a new adventure.
Ha! I thought you might say that. With an intrepid attitude such as yours, I believe all shall be well. Be it the contest or something else, there will be many trials for you to overcome at your destination. But in the course of seeing new lands and meeting new people, you'll surely find a way forward. That's what adventurers do, is it not? Such a journey would be the envy of many a scholar. Distant as it is, Tural remains largely unknown to us, with only meager records to be found in Numenor. The experiences to be had, all the things you might hear, feel, and think. It's enough to stir me to the core. Life is a series of journeys, my friend, and there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another. But there's an idea. I have a matter to attend to at the Agora. Please, go on inside.
Well, alright. Oh, you shifty son of a gun. Well, I think I know who else will be appearing at the Annex now. Hello again, Uchika. Welcome back, Thorak. If you're looking for Wicklamat, she is currently with the others in her chambers. If you like, I can go and fetch them for you. Yes. Understood. Please wait in the main hall. That must be Tural. World map, there it is. Okay, I was curious about this, but that's Hingashi. Authored. Remember, this is the Sea of Dust, I think they called it? Big ol' Eorzea over here at the northern empty where old Shylian is. And Garlemald along with Isambard. Rattatan here.
You have the look of someone who's made up their mind. Go on then. Let's hear it.
I've never been one to turn down an adventure. I'll do it.
Excellent. You'll be compensated for your troubles, of course. But I dare say your time in Tural will be its own reward.
That is the hope and the prayer.
You're not planning to leave without us, are you?
I would never dream of it.
Alphano, Alice, what are you two doing here?
We happened to cross paths at Numenon earlier, you see, and I told them about Wuklamat. And when we fortuitously met again at the Agora just now, they expressed an interest in meeting our visitor.
Ah, you must be the twins who are sneaking after Erenville as toads.
Hundred things about us you could have told her, and you chose.
Thank you so much, Ernvald.
First impressions last.
Tis an honor and a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Your Highness. Alphano Leveilleur at your service, and this is my sister Alize.
Oh no, let's not do that. I really can't stand titles. So, you want to participate in the contest too, is that right?
Indeed we do. We've been assisting with the rebuilding effort in Garlemald. Yet while progress is being made, the question remains of how the nation might reconcile with its neighbors. We believe there is much we might learn from Tuliolal, a nation founded on unity. And in return for this honor, we would spare no effort in supporting your claim.
The more the merrier, I say. And I'd be keen to learn about Eorzea and Garlemald from you as well.
You might want to dress better if you want to go to Garlemald.
Having recruited so many committed and capable allies, I presume you have no need for my continued assistance?
Nonsense! Like I told you before, you're indispensable. They're strong, aye, but strangers to our land. They need someone to guide them, to point out the dangers, and spare them grisly deaths. I can't think of anyone better suited to that task than you. What's more, despite your assertions, I know you haven't given up on the City of Gold.
Are you going to have any more people suddenly stepping in?
As I recall, Kryl, you were the first to state your desire to visit Tural.
Perhaps I was. Still, I can't help but worry about being away just when our order is beginning to find its feet again.
You have nothing to worry about. I have haven't forgotten how you held the fort while I set off to explore Alzadal's legacy. It's only fair that I return the favor. Pray, leave the students to Ojika and me.
But, Raha...
You want to retrace your grandfather's steps, don't you? This is a rare opportunity, and I insist that you seize it.
Thank you, Raha. Thank you.
Well, looks like it's settled. I'm counting on you all to help me win the throne.
I suppose now is a good time to show you what I spent a small fortune on at the Agora.
Are we expanding the map?
There.
A map of
This,
Tyrol.
my friends, is the latest map of the world, created to celebrate our friendship with the Loperids. Cast your eyes west of Sharlayan, for there it lies. The site of your next great adventure, Tyrol.
Got footfalls engraved in ash. Oh, I wasn't actually at the expansion itself yet? I'ma just, well, some first stream of Dawntrail this is. I guess for now I shall let this play while I, again, go AFK. I was reminding myself of Xenos' spiel toward the end of Endwalker. You don't seek treasures for nothing, you seek them for your own sake. Or something similar. Hand in hand, souls are lights. I still love this song. Good old Footfalls. I guess if it's going to go on for a bit, I might as well do something real quick. I'll be right back. And I am back. Uh-huh. Ah, I see. Alright, well. I can't carry on those credits any longer. Lest you wonder about your passage to Thrall, Erenville will arrange a ship through his guild. You need only worry about your own preparations. Speaking of which, please take this with you. A rugged and ready knapsack. May it serve you well on your coming adventures. Now, I'm not sure when departure will be, but rest assured I'll let you know when I hear something. Till then, please take your ease. Thank you, Oshika. Meanwhile, in Limsa Lomensa.
When does the next ship set sail? May I ask your destination? The north and east, I've already seen. I suppose I'll head west this time. West, you say?
Istinian wants to also head west. I wonder what for. Meanwhile, in Old Shyland.
I see you've made up your mind. I had a feeling you'd be keen.
But to think that our comrades too are thither bound. Fate doth work in mysterious ways.
Indeed. It will be a grueling task, having to contend with them.
If the prospect doth trouble thee, 'tis not too late to decline the petition. Though thine expression would suggest thou art far from perturbed.
Oh, how could I possibly be, knowing what's to come?
Then let us delay no further and secure passage on a vessel.
Aye. This will be a mission to remember. Come, my friend. We make for Tehran.
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty? Or the treasure islands beyond the frozen waters of Blind Frost in Offerd's north? The fabled golden cities of the New World?
Emmett Silk. Weigh anchor now. The tide is high and the dawn of a new adventure is nigh. Row forth to break horizon's bond and tread the gilded path beyond. Tomorrow is unknown. Sun Chaser. Shut up. I got the talking stick. A new world to explore. Welcome back, Thorak. I've just had word from Arendelle. It seems he's managed to secure passage to Thrall aboard a guild ship vessel. Why don't you wait in the main hall while I go and inform your travel companions? It should only take a moment. Now onto Dawntrail proper. I can also take a moment to look at this map. I wonder if my map is now actually updated. No, not yet. But that is Charlan, and this is all of Tyrol. Jeez. Although, now I wonder, why Estinian wants to go there? I'm probably overthinking it. He doesn't seem like the adventuring type to me. Who knows? Maybe there is a dragon there he wants to go talk with. Hello, y'all. Ochka gave us the good news. We've made ready to set sail on a moment's notice. The only one yet to arrive is Arendelle himself. Ah, you're all here. It took some persuasion, but the Gleaner's guild ship has granted us places aboard a vessel bound for Tyrol. There will be other passengers, researchers and artisans and the like, so we'll need to share deck space. That's fine, Arenville. I doubt anyone expected we'd have the ship all... I doubt anyone expected we'd have a ship all to ourselves. They're not casting off just yet, so if you have any lingering concerns, now is the time to voice them. I wouldn't call it a concern, but everyone's still clear on what it is we'll be doing in Tyrol, yes? We've not forgotten. The nation of Tulialo is in the midst of deciding its next ruler. As your chosen allies, we shall assist you during the rite of succession and support your bid to become Dawn servants. In addition to that, Alphino and I have another objective. As part of its reconstruction, Garlemald seeks ways to reconcile and re-engage with its neighbors. By visiting Tyrol, we hope to learn more about how its myriad cultures interact with one another, how they can find common ground, develop stronger ties, the sorts of insights that might help our friends in Isambard. But we'll pursue the goal in our own time. You can be assured we'll give the contest all due attention. That's all I ask. Otherwise, you're welcome to do as you like. You want to find out about your grandfather, right, Kra? Yes, as far as we could determine from the old missive I found, he had been tasked with investigating the Golden City by your father, the Dawn Servants. Yet, oddly enough, we have no record of that investigation in our archives, and nothing to explain the earring which accompanied the letter. Thus, for reasons both official and personal, I should very much like to get to the bottom of this mystery. I'm sure there'll be a chance to speak with Papa. You can get your answers right from the source. I look forward to meeting him. In any case, you're not the only one with an interest in the City of Gold. The Golden City is a children's bedtime story. I am part of this expedition only because the Third Promise has commanded that I serve as a guide. Still playing the part of the stoic servant, I see. What of you? Don't you dare tell me you've changed your mind. I go wheresoever adventure is to be bound. That's what they tell me. Right then. If all are still committed to the journey, then I say we make ready to depart. Hey, Arundel. Eager as they are, the others have already left for the harbor. We're not in danger of missing the boarding call, but perhaps we should be on our way as well. I'm gonna get teleported there.
Savoring the moment? I can feel your excitement, your eagerness to explore the unknown.
Well, for once, the fate of the world doesn't rest on our shoulders. We might even get a chance to enjoy ourselves.
Do not be so quick to relax. Oh, Tural may seem but a short sail away on a map. The vast seas between brim with peril. The treacherous waters of Shade's Triangle alone have claimed countless vessels. Even following the safe route plotted by Admiral Blutheswin herself, this will be no pleasure cruise.
Perhaps, but my voyage here was uneventful enough, disappointingly so.
You haven't sailed with me, Wicklamat, so don't worry.
Either way, the two of you have first-hand experience, which will be of great comfort in the days ahead, I'm sure.
Aye, it's nothing new to us.
All aboard! We're casting off!
It's time. I trust you have everything you need?
And more. Alright, now show me that Urianger and Thancred have stowed themselves away on the ship.
And so does our ship cast off from the docks. We sail west, as Cattenram did some 80 years past, bound for the New World, known to her children as the continent of Toral.
Just wait, Papa. When this contest is said and done, it'll be your daughter who sits the throne. Me, Waklamat.
Go on, show me that title card. Oh, not yet? I guess Endwalker took a minute to get there.
Smooth sailing so far?
Aye, so far so good. But this sea, she's a fickle one. Calm one moment, blowing a gale the next.
I'll take my rest while I can then.
We left port what seems an age ago now, and we've seen naught but open water ahead. I knew Toral was far, but it's another thing to really know.
It is indeed.
Speaking of which, some of our fellow passengers have made this trip before. Several times, in fact. I was able to learn a few things about Tuliolal and the right of succession. Since we still have a long way to go, why not have a chat with them yourself? I'm sure you have questions of your own. Did you look out across these same waters, Grandfather?
I forget if this is I forget if this was the case, but I'm surprised they haven't had a funny moment where one of the Scions were super sick. Just super seasick. Fontaine. Oh. Hmm? Oh. This will be my first visit to Toral. Fontaine's name? Same as Estame's. Fontain's name. I was working at Eshtam's Aesthetics in Ulda, you see, but my employment with them came to an end. That's why I visited Charlian, in hopes of starting over. While I was attempting and failing to find a new job, I seized the chance to board this vessel when I overheard a room of another passenger had suddenly opened up. I'm told the Dawn Servant welcomes all regardless of origin, and so, Tuliolal seemed like the perfect place to begin anew. Hopefully things will be better this time. So he's looking for new beginnings, which makes sense. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Wukalamat is understandably nervous, I think. I could feel my edge start to dull on these long sea voyages. How about some light sparring later? You're on. I see you in Eorzea before. You great and famous hero. Yeah, I've had plenty of playing the simpleton. There was a time when we took great pains to maintain the deception, but with more of you Eorzeans coming to Tyrol, it becomes impractical. Besides, my mercenary days are over. Too many of our warband have fallen, and so we headed home to lick our wounds. My story? Well, since you asked, I wanted to retrace the historic journey of the great Ketenram. You know, the first Eorzean to set foot on Tyrol, almost 80 years ago. The Mamoja's leader is said to have welcomed Ketenram with open arms, and sent him home with a bounty of silverware as a token of their friendship. But the real treasure was the crops he brought back. Popatos, tomatoes, and corn, which spread across Eorzea like wildfire. His grand adventure led to culinary revolution. The tales of Ketenram returned to Tyrol several times after that. The tales say Ketenram returned to Tyrol several times after that, but his ship vanished during his last recorded voyage, and he was never heard from again. That even a seasoned explorer like him could meet such an end is a testimony to the ocean's peril. Hey there, fella. An adventurer, I presume. I'm a merchant myself, based in Ulda. Specialty imports and exports, Eorzean and Tyrali both. If this is your first crossing the Salt, as they say, do remember that the social mores of Eorzea are not necessarily the same as those over yonder. Consider this. It is not uncommon for various races to be referred to instead by names of certain clans. For the Minkote, the Hetzaro, the Rothgar, the Jarbral, and not because not every member of a given clan is of the same race, mind, but because many individuals of said race are associated with that clan. A fair assumption in certain cases, but take care not to give offense. How you holding up, Alphino? I'm told this vessel has been equipped with a barrier generator to protect it from storms. A rest-assuring thought, I nevertheless pray there will be no need for it. Of course, of course. I can always go back to old Shireland. That's good. Have you spoken with our shipmates? Tyrol is a good distance away, and it might be a pleasant way to pass the time. I can go all the way out here. Lalafell and Gleamer. I've heard Arenville is looking for passage to Tuliolol. I get that confused every time. So I managed to squeeze this party aboard one of our chartered vessels. As fortune would have it, we had just scheduled an expedition to Tyrol. Good enough. Sprightly sailor. Did you want to make a wager? We're taking bets on who will be sat next to the Dawn Servant's shiny chair. There are 4 claimants in the right of succession, your young Wukalamat being one of them, of course. I had something close to my head. But from what a Momoja bloke is telling us, the other three are all strong contenders. Not too many keen to risk their coin on the third promise. Communication. That's what that is. Did you learn anything of interest? Oh, I've heard about the clan names. We should have Volklamat and Ironville teach us the ones we should know. Actually, it's getting a little chilly up here on deck. Let's all gather in the cabin.
We're in for a proper storm, it seems.
How's your stomach? Any better?
I was just saying that I'm surprised they haven't done this gag yet.
I don't know what you mean. I don't get seasick. I'm just feeling a little nauseous is all.
Isn't that what seasickness is?
Erenville, you were born in Tyrol, yes? Do many Vieira live there?
The Shatona, as my people are called, have settlements mainly in the north, in Shaktural.
And your family?
I know nothing of my father, not even his name. As for my mother...
Oh dear.
Come, we should lend what aid we can.
You're hoping it'd be uneventful? Like I said, Wicklamat has never sailed with me. Something usually goes wrong.
I have not seen the ocean rage with such fury before or since. The heaving waves tossed our ship about like a toy, sending sailors tumbling. The dauntless Alizé, quick to the rescue, was almost lost to the sea herself. Meanwhile, our champion rushed to deploy the vessel's magical defenses, and thereby shield us from the lightning. What an extraordinary life he must lead to be able to operate such a device with practiced ease. Volklamat, too, threw herself into the rescue efforts, though one might have mistaken her for another soul in distress. By the time the unruly seas had calmed, our strength was all but spent, and we had yet to even glimpse the shores of Tural.
In retrospect, of course, that battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude to the coming contest for the throne.
I'm dressed rather appropriately, actually.
Morning. Joining us for some fresh air? Seems my belly has settled along with the weather, but I'll feel much better once we're on solid ground. Ugh. Can't be much farther now, can it?
Seabirds. Land must be near. You need only hold out a while longer.
For a dark moment, I thought the ocean might swallow us. Glad to have my pessimism proven wrong.
In other good news, I examined the sailor who took a fall, and he's faring well. I'm sure he'll make a full recovery.
Good news indeed. If all's well, then we needn't delay in launching the landing boat. Ships have to lower anchors some way from shore. Too close, and they risk having their underbellies ripped open by the reefs that crowd Tuliola's coasts.
Thanks for bringing us all this way.
Ha! We only did what we were paid to do. Couldn't hardly set you adrift halfway. If anything, it should be us thanking you for helping us through that beast of a storm. As a matter of fact, everyone's starting to fancy your chances in the contest. At this rate, we won't be able to lay wagers no more.
Then I better not let you down. Oh. Easy, stomach. Easy.
We're the last to board. If there's nothing left to say, then let's shove off, shall we?
Those are a lot of reefs.
Blue seas, clear skies, and boundless possibilities. I dare say our destination will soon be in sight.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
Hey, this was in the trailers.
distance. Behold the scene of our next great adventure.
At last, we are come to the land you call the New World. To my home, Tural.
Dawntrail. Tuliolal. A jazzy tune for this. Goblins? Aujah here. Pretty sure I saw an Aura.
Gods, I've seen cities with an impressive mix of cultures, but this is something else.
Is that a... No. I've never seen Vanu feathers in that color before.
You'll find much here you never knew existed. There may be a sea route now, but visitors to Tuliholal are still few and far between. And as we don't build seafaring ships, only a handful of Turali ever venture abroad.
Mamulja sellswords mostly. Those willing to play the fool sail with Lominsan merchants to secure employment in Eorzea.
I suppose that makes us a rare sight in your country.
Rare and currently undocumented. Were there some forms we should fill out, or...
Forms? Did you forget who you're traveling with?
Oh, company.
You are outsiders? Visitors to Tural?
We are.
Our nation is soon to hold a right of succession to choose its next dawn servant. We will not abide interference from foreign agents seeking to foment trouble. What brings you to Tuliholal?
I can answer that. These fine people are allies in my succession bid.
Third promise. If you vouch for them, then all is well. Of course.
Please, accept our apologies.
No need to bow and scrape. That our soldiers are so diligent in their duties fills me with pride.
We'll be continuing our patrol then.
Well, well. You really are a figure of authority here.
Are you suggesting I don't look the part? Anyway, first things first. I bid you welcome to Tuliholal.
Well, this is quite a subject change. I wonder what kind of trouble those soldiers are expecting. It's so nice to feel this familiar breeze again. I wasn't sure my stomach would make it. According to Erenville, the Vanu I thought I saw belongs to a clan known as the Hanu Hanu. It seems that they share more than a physical resemblance. What an amazing city, as lively as Ul'dah and even more colorful. Yeah, sure enough, a very colorful city. Well, despite the storm's efforts to the contrary, here we are, safe and sound. Excellent. You have arrived at Tuliolal. You can return to the city at any time by speaking with the sprightly sailor in Scholar's Harbor in Old Charlian. A mountain chromite weapon. Right then, first things first. Still a bit queasy. No more boats for a while. I realize we've just arrived, but we should get you familiar at the city before the Rite of Succession begins. No arguments here. I should very much like to explore. Then, I'll guide you. Are you sure you're in any condition to do so? Haha, we were wondering who these strange folk were, so the third promise has found herself some new followers then. Followers? Woklamat, are you unwell? No, not at all. Couldn't be better. The third promise does not get seasick. No, sir. As for my hand-picked entourage here, I've recruited them to help me with win the Rite of Succession. I was about to show them around the city, in fact. That sounds lovely. But a group of foreigners is going to attract attention, especially if they're in the company of the third promise. Everyone will be curious. We certainly were. Your siblings have a tendency to command a respectful distance, but you're just so easy to approach. And I enjoy it. And I enjoy it so much when you do. Please, don't ever worry that you're a bother to me. You're very kind. Good day to you, third promise. They did have a point. Woklamat is technically royalty here. Like it or not, a person of her station surrounded by this many outsiders is bound to draw a crowd. Wait, what do you mean, technically? I suggest we move in two groups as to attract less attention. Just technically ignoring me, then. Thorak, you and Kryl can come with me. I'll take the twins, then. We'll get in touch once we've had a good look around. The voyage was hard on us all. So take it slow and recuperate. We have enough time for that. Enjoy your wanderings. Perhaps we should wait a bit, at least until Woklamat's nausea subsides. No need for that. Look, I'm ready to go. Pace yourself, Woklamat. Tuliolal is not going anywhere. Let's give Woklamat a little more time. I'm fine now, really. Can't stand around all day feeling sorry for myself. What with the contest looming and all. Now then, seeing as we're already here, I might as well tell you about the harbor. Erenville already mentioned the reefs in our coastal waters, which explains why you don't see any big ships moored in the docks. Only vessels with shallow drafts can navigate the bay. Mostly small fishing boats or barges ferrying cargo up and down the rivers from inland settlements. Much of the incoming traffic is from Yoktaral, the southern landmass. The clans there produce various goods to export. Their wares are unloaded here and carted off to the merchant stalls in neighboring markets. Speaking of which, Bayside Bevy should be our next stop. Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with this mechanic. It looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main aetherites. The markets, I'm sure. Wandering on the city, so exciting. Unfamiliar wonders everywhere. Unfamiliar wonders everywhere we look. This is Bayside Bevy, Tulialal's largest marketplace. Being right on the harbor, everything from fresh fish to imported wares goes directly to the shelves. Anything you want, they most likely have. Oh right, I should mention that here in Tulialal, we buy things with Pel, a currency that the Pelu Pelu created. But don't worry, more and more trade is coming from Eorzea, so most shops are happy to accept your gil. There's also Wachumeki, another market to the east of here. But that can wait another time. I have other places I want to show you first. First, we'll head back a bit, then northwards up the stairs to a certain plaza. I can't wait to see the look on your faces. That is a big aetherite. That's a steep stairs. What do you think of that, eh? Goodness me, you have aetherites here in Tulialal? I think I told you before, but my brother, Kona, spent 3 years studying in Sharlayan. He fell in love with the nation and its ways, and brought back to us the knowledge of aetherite construction. Papa warmed to the idea at once, and had one built immediately. Did you do the attuning thing? If you're ready to continue, we'll head down again and then up the slope to the side, right at the top of the gate which leads to Zaktaral. Let's make a stop at Bright Bloom Post on the way, though. That's the headquarters for the Landsguard. The first square one of these I've seen. Trudging up and down all these slopes and stairs is exhausting. I understand where Wuklamat gets her endless endurance. We have a lot of narrow, winding streets that crawl up the sides of the mountain. As you can see, though, the builders made sure the city's main thoroughfares were wide enough to accommodate wagons. Oh, that must be one of the Wyver. This here is Bright Bloom Post. Ah, they train. Here we are, Bright Bloom Post. The soldiers stationed here are responsible for defending Tuliolal and preserving the peace. The Landsguard are led by our nation's strongest warrior, and so naturally, Papa has commanded them since the beginning. At least till 3 years ago, when Zeral Jah took over as commander. The title is no empty honor. It means the first promise is considered equal to the Dawn Servant in martial strength. Meanwhile, I have even managed to. Well, I'll discuss my brothers and their accomplishments later. Alphno and Alice should be around to hear it too. Come on, it's time I showed you the Sky Gate. It's right at the northern end of Tullen March. I keep forgetting to talk to Kryl. Because I'm just curious as to what she has to say. That is a big gate. Zorgar the Boundless. Zorgar. Let's actually talk to Kryl this time. Sorrel Jah. That's clearly a Mamu Jah name. An interesting family. Massive, isn't it? And on the other side is an equally massive bridge to match. Both were constructed by a race of giants, the Yakhoi. Strictly speaking, Tural is actually two separate continents. Yaktural, the southern lands of the mother, and Jaktural, the northern lands of the father, which lie beyond the bridge. Legends say it used to be one great landmass, but long, long ago the two gods fought a titanic battle, and when one threw the other to the ground, the impact was so devastating as to split the continent in twain. A familiar sounding tale. I am put in mind the conflict between Hydaelyn and Zodiark. But getting back to Jacques Tural, those lands are also part of the Tuliolal nation, correct? That's right. Isn't my father incredible? He united the people of two continents into a single nation. The many clans of Tural have been at war for generations. It was only when Papa traveled the lands and put a stop to their myriad conflicts that we finally had peace. And that's the main reason why I want to win the throne, so I can preserve the peace he built. But I see you're more interested in what lies beyond the gates than hearing about my inspirations. Crossing the bridge to Zaktaral requires a special travel pass. Unfortunately, they won't issue any new permits until the right of succession is over. I promise to get you one when I'm Dawn Servant, but until then, you'll just have to wait. But I'll make sure you win, mark my words. You really mean that? Woe to anyone who stands between you and adventure. I must have covered half the city by now. Tuliolal is unlike any other place we have visited. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. That I've visited, is what she said. Whoopsies! A city of stairs. We'll head west next, towards the Arc of the Dawn. The dirigible landing is on the way. You have dirigibles too? Tuliolal certainly doesn't want for methods of travel. We get by. Now, if you've seen enough of this area, let me know and we'll continue on. The Arc of the Dawn is on the other side of the city, so speak up if you see something that interests you as we walk. This is in such contrast to where I was before at Ratsutan. That place kind of had a jazzy, but it was more like a scat, whereas this is actually more like an upbeat jazz. I hope you aren't too afraid. I hope you aren't too tired. Tulialal has plenty of sights to see. I'm struggling to conceive how one could construct an entire city on the side of a mountain. This was originally the site of the Yakhui Temple. The giants built it when they were first making the bridge to Jagtaral, to appease the god who slumbers in the great ocean trench. After Yakhui withdrew, the temple stood empty for centuries, so when Papa was establishing his new nation, he saw a structure he could refurbish into a palace, sitting practically at the center of Tyrol. He gathered artisans to do the work, and the houses they built for themselves became the foundation of the city you see today. Speaking of houses, we'll be passing through the Resplendent Quarter, the biggest residential district in Tulialal. We climb these sets of stairs here, all the way up. Wow, that's amazing. A parent and their kid. Now this is a sight. The sheer scale of this place is incredible. I wonder what the carving at the top represents. Papa's palace is called the Volok Shunza, which roughly translates to invincible resilience. You probably want to take a closer look, but we'll be coming back here later. Let's move on for now. Of course. This city loves its stairs. The stairs leading up to the peak can get pretty steep. Careful you don't fall. I've been one step away from death more than a few times. So this is the Resplendent Quarter. What manner of people live here? Oh, we have residents from the Yaktaral clans. Mamoja, Shabaral, Pelu Pelu, Moblin, Hanu Hanu. So they're Moblins here. We also have Tonawata, Hatsuro, Shitona. We also have Tonawata, Hatsuro, and Shitona who moved south from their ancestral lands in Jagtaral. In essence, it's a gathering of people from every corner of Tyrol. A true representation of Tulialal's diversive character. The adornments on each building contribute to the eclectic cultural aesthetic. It's also beautiful. I'm glad you think so. Come, we continue down the stairs. I've never seen such an enormous drum. What would one even use to beat such an instrument? Oh, that? The big drum there is called the Dawn Herald. They play it for formal occasions, like when honoring the Landsguard returned from a dangerous duty. I tried hitting it with my axe once and ripped the skin. Earned me a proper scolding, let me tell you. I think that was the time Papa held me upside down by the ankle. Ah. Instead of chocobo lanners or the dodo, they must ride alpacas. If it's an alpaca you need, then look no further. Before we get you sounded up, I'll need to add your name to our register. It'll make things smoother the next time you need a ride. Kozumaoka. And we don't know where this goes yet. We only know Zorgor the Boundless. One need only look to the children playing for a sense of how peaceful things must be here. And here are our dirigibles. Not bad, eh? I hear other nations use airships to sail the skies, but you'll only find balloons in Tulialal. We have them for the exact same reason as the Aetherites. Kona brought back the plans from Shireland, and Papa thought them fantastic and commissioned their construction. That was about 3 years ago. Since that time, we've had flights to other settlements. Trade with frontier communities has never been easier. But that's enough about dirigibles. The Ark of the Dawn awaits. Oh, so these are literally giant balloons. Okay. Okay, we're not going too far back. Let's get to running. Oh, I don't want to teleport just yet. Hearing about dirigibles reminds me of the Ixal and their flying vessels, but whereas their designs use several bladders, it seems the Turali craft rely on one large envelope to lift them into the air. The Sit, the Ark of the Dawn. While the giants were still here, it was known as the Yaxoral Landgate. But when Papa found Tulialal, everyone began using its present name in honor of his great achievement. Though this gate is Kozamayuka, the wetlands south of the city, depending on what the right of succession asks of us, we might end up going in that direction. Kozamayuka. That name alone is intriguing. Speaking of which, what were those fluffy animals we passed earlier? The alpaca. Ah, those are alpacas. Fearsome four-legged fiends. Fearsome? They look quite placid to me. You'll learn soon enough, Kryle. You'll learn soon enough. But forget the alpacas. I have something far more important to show you. Come along. She don't like alpacas for some reason. Are these pillars what Lamont wanted to show us? If you wish to learn the history of Tulialal, then look no further. These stone pillars, you mean? 93. What is my next ability? Enhanced Gluttony doesn't come till 96. Neither does Executioner's Gibbet. Enhanced Second Wind and Melee Mastery. Okay. The spot captured Kryle's attention. What's special about these pillars, if I may ask? At a glance, they might look like ordinary stone decorations. But if you take a really good look, you'll see that's something much more interesting. I'm not currently in Duty Finder for anything. That one's yet to be written. Pictures? Wait, no, these are glyphs. They seem to tell a series of stories, many of them featuring a two-handed Mamoja. Oh, then that must be... That's right. It follows the exploits of my father, Gulul Jaja, and his journey to unite our lands. We call it the Tulialal Sanka. The deeds he performed and the bonds he forged, all immortalized in stone. There's no better way to learn about Tulialal. There's no better way to learn how Tulialal came to be. Study them as long as you like. Lay of the Brotherhood, Lay of Reeds, Lay of Pots, Lay of Repast. Start from left to right. This pillar tells the Lay of the Brotherhood. It depicts a scene where Papa granted an audience to the foreign explorer Ket's something. I can never remember the name. You mean Ketanram? Ah, that's the one. Ketanram's arrival in Tyrol is what prompted Papa to embark on his own journey. It's said the two grew to be close friends, brothers in spirit if not in blood. But no one knows what became of the explorer in later years. Ketanram's disappearance is a mystery in Eorzea as well. The records say he traveled between our lands and yours for a while, but then it's assumed he was lost at sea. The Lay of Reeds. Here we have the Lay of Reeds. This is a story of when Papa visited the Hanu in their village in Kozumyoka. The people of Afino almost mistook for Vanu. If not for the colorful plumage, he spent a fair bit of time among the Vanu and the Sea of Clouds. So it's no surprise he took an interest in your countrymen. I don't know how it is with your Vanu, but our Hanu are bright and cheerful sorts. They hold this one festival every year, very famous and a lot of fun. The 4 stones closest to us cover the first half of Papa's travels. Let's start with those. The Lay of Pots. Let's see. This one is the Lay of Pots, which depicts the moblins of Kozumyoka. They might wear odd masks and sound weirdly muffled when they talk, but the gold and silverwork they sell is the best you'll find anywhere. Moblin goods are standard when it comes to gift giving. clearly the Vanu aren't the only people with distant Tirali counterparts. This one recounts the lay of Repast. As you can probably tell, the figure depicted here is of the Zibaral, like me. For decades, Zibaral and Mamuja were at war for control of the forests of Yaktel. The actions Papa took to end that conflict have since been hailed as the first steps in the founding of Tulialal. There's a clan of Hrothgar and Bajda known as Hellions. In their society, the women rule as queens, and the men serve as devoted subjects. Yet here in Tyrol, Zibaral men and women appear to be of equal status. How dramatically culture can vary with location. If we're done with the first half, we can move on to the seconds. Yes. Jeez, I forgot there was so much reading in this. The Lay of Gold. The Lay of Gold. This pillar shows one of the Pelu Pelu, whose homeland is Urkopacha. Having created our currency, the Pelu are rightfully known as the Merchant Clan. They oversee Tulialal's markets, and their traveling peddlers are a common sight no matter where you go in Tyrol. Don't let their size fool you. They might be mistaken as children, but beneath those beaked masks, they are clever and calculating traders. This one is my favorite. The Lay of Ice. It depicts the battle where the legendary Tyrol Vidral. Oh, it depicts the battle with the legendary Tyrol Vidral Valiarmanda. I should explain. A Tyrol Vidral is a creature that has lived far beyond its usual lifespan and awakened to preternatural power. Tataru described the Far Eastern Auspices in similar fashion. Could this be the same phenomena? Valiarmanda itself was dubbed the Sky Ruin, a name earned for the destruction and terror it visited upon Tyrol every time it stirred from its slumber. But 80 years or so ago, its ruinous reign was brought to an end. After a great struggle, Papa and his comrades managed to overcome the raging Vidral and seal it away in the Urkopacha Mountains. Despite its reputation, however, Valiarmanda is also a symbol of power. That's why you'll see its likeness in Tulialal's national emblem, and adorning the banners of the palace. Anything new to say? And these four comprise the rest of the saga. The Blank Pillar. This story is yet to be written, I guess. Papa says he left a blank pillar for the next chapter of Tulialal's history, whatever that might be. That makes sense. The Lay of Proof. That big fellow is of the Hakyui, the largest of Tyrol's peoples. These giants once used their great size and strength to establish dominion encompassing all of Yogg-Tyrol. Having brought the southern reaches to heel, they then turned northwards, setting their sights on Yogg-Tyrol. You'll recall the massive bridge they built beyond the Sky Gate. Sometime after launching their northern campaign, however, they just gave up. They abandoned the lands they conquered and withdrew into the mountains of Urkopacha. Oops, I did not mean to do that. And withdrew into the mountains of Urkopacha. I've never seen any of their kind so much as set foot in the city. This was a people with the power and resourcefulness to raise a temple on a mountaintop and build a bridge across the sea with stone. What would move them to renounce their ambitions in their place in Tyrali history? Had you fill with history then? Yes, thank you. glad to hear it. You know, I feel awfully hungry all of a sudden. No surprises there, seeing I couldn't keep anything down for a while. Well, now I think I'm ready to eat again. Let's go and have ourselves a bite at a local let's go and have ourselves a bite of a local delicacy. Come, I'll take you to the best restaurant in the city. I like the sound of that. Getting a bit famished myself. Oh, let us not forget. Exaltation. Peshekwa? More Vieira. I miss my mother's cooking. About for her to go for dinner, though. They must be upstairs. Yet more stairs. So that Mamo Kalats. Oh, don't get me started down. Interesting. Oh, I was supposed to come up those stairs. Oh, whoops. Have you ever had tacos? Yes! They're a Tulialal classic. You bake a crunchy shell made from corn flour and fill it with meat and salad. A lot of shops and stalls sell them, but I like how they're made here at Sabalyav Te best. Sabalyav. And I need one right in front of me right now. Let's head downstairs, place an order with Old Brookivu. Gosh, she got me wanting tacos now. How could she?
Must sample your heavenly tacos. One for each of us, please.
Right away, promise. And I'll pack them tight with my choicest feelings. Only the best for you and your friends.
Did you hear the Silver Scares are back? Seems their overseas foray ended in disaster. More than half their warband is missing, including their leader.
Aye. And now keen to rebuild their broken reputations, the survivors seek the Golden City. A fool's errand. How many hopefuls have disappeared in search of that fable? They should count their lucky stars they came home alive at all.
The legend of the Golden City is well known here, I take it.
It is, but as no one's ever seen it, many question if there is any truth to the tale. Like our skeptical Erinville.
I can't imagine the Dawn Servant would request a formal survey for a place that doesn't exist.
Now to find a spot with a pleasant view to enjoy our crunchy spoils. Oh.
Oh. Oh.
The third promise.
What the?
I don't know these ones. New salt. Dredge from foreign waters is my guess, brother.
Of course, that's it.
Wuklamat is so afraid of the coming contest that she went crying for special help.
Hey.
Was there something you wanted, Bakul Jaja?
The third promise remembers us. Such an honor. Glory on your name, brother. And on yours, brother.
I know my rivals for the throne. Nothing more.
Another child of the Dawn Servant?
No, this brute.
We have no ties to their farce of a family. Unlike the sneevling house cat, we are blessed siblings, the elevated chosen. We alone are fit to succeed Gulul Jaja as Dawn Servant.
All peoples are equal in Tulihyola. Your heritage gives you no greater claim to the throne.
Shall we test that idea here and now? See if your strength is equal to ours.
None of this has any bearing on the right of succession, correct? Best not waste your energies on pointless scuffles.
The kitten comes to the house cat's defense.
Who's the kitten here?
Pathetic. Since when was our nation overrun by mewling weaklings?
Listen to me, you.
A two-headed Mamulja. I knew of them, but that's the first I've seen in the flesh.
Some get it into their twin heads that they're destined to follow in my father's footsteps. So they travel to distant lands to hone their battlecraft. Those are likely the ones you've heard about.
Are there other two-headed claimants?
No, just Bakul Jaja. Even in Tural, his kind are far from common. The Mamulja people largely belong to one of three clans. The Hubigo, the Bunewa, and the Dopro. Every once in the Great While, a two-headed offspring is born from a union between the brown-scaled Hubigo and the blue-scaled Bunewa. The child grows to possess immense strength, both physical and magical.
Blessed siblings indeed.
Forget them. Let's go and buy more tacos. I can think of nothing better to rid me of this bad taste in my mouth.
I will never say no to more tacos.
Enjoying your tour of the city, I trust. We've seen our share of notable sights and took a moment to rest. As such, we're ready to present ourselves at the palace for the rite of succession. Shall we meet you there?
The palace it is. I'll let Wuklamat know. Destiny calls. Perhaps we can return for more tacos later?
So it goes.
A war crime was committed. I never got tacos. I guess neither did Wiklamat. Brokivo's lovingly made tacos went to waste. And it's all that British Bakrujaja's fault. I was looking forward to trying some authentic Tulialo cuisine, but we should hurry and join Alpha and the others at the palace. Alright, it's a bit of a climb to the top, but you can head up from the Resplendent Quarter, or even the eastern side of Tullen March, if you recall, if you prefer. Now that you have an idea of how the city's laid out, I'll let you find your own way to Valakshunsta. My poor empty belly. It would seem we've come full circle. We haven't gone this way yet. I imagine the story will take us that way naturally. Ah. I'll probably cap things off at 3 hours, 3-hour stream. That seems like a good time to stop. Then my back's starting to get to me. Oh, these stairs. I'm glad to see that Wiklamat's axe isn't necessarily a unique case. Oh, VR guard. Hello, y'all. Do you have a better feel for the city now? Yes. We saw to head Mauja on our way here. Another claimant in the right of succession, according to Arenville. The food is amazing. A passing Mauja let us try a fruit called Sharamoya. It was sublime. There are so many narrow, winding streets, but even if you get lost, all you have to do is keep heading up and you'll arrive at the palace eventually. You made it. Good. Then we're all here. I'm still hungry enough to eat a whole roasted colibri, but the contest won't wait for us forever. Alright, well. That's probably be the remainder of this stream as these cutscenes. I've acquainted the twins with the city as best as I could in a short time. Their unbridled enthusiasm made it rather difficult, invariably something that would catch their eye, spurring them to run down an alley to investigate. Twas like herding a pair of unruly curls. I understand it. I understand all too well. Shyland had the same effect on me. Right then. Now it's time we saw the inside of the palace. Papa will want to know I'm home, and to meet the allies I've chosen. Given how impulsive he is, though, there's no telling what we might be in for. Sparring?
Estinian? When did he get here?
What's the point? Why is he here?
Oh, you know this man? Whenever my father spots a promising opponent, he invites them to Sunperch to duel. Pressing duties or no, he can't resist a good fight.
So the one Estinian's crossing blades with.
That would do, Spearman. I will receive my darling daughter. Know that you are the strongest I fought in many a moon, if not longer. It is the privilege of a life long lived to face such a formidable soul.
If it's formidable you want, then look no further than that man there.
I was just thinking I wouldn't mind a round or two myself.
I see you, warrior.
We had no idea you meant to visit Tyrrell.
I've seen what lies east. This time I chose west.
And thus did our itinerant dragoon make his travel plans.
You witnessed our bout. If you thought he was fearsome, that was with one head dozing.
I'm not sure I understand.
The old man has been feeling his years. The uncovered side is the head of resolve, and age has only deepened his love for combat. The head of reason, wiser of the two, sleeps more and more these days. As I understand it, the veil helps with the restoration of his magical energies.
Enough about me, Lamati. I want to hear of your adventures.
Lamachi.
A term of endearment. It's what my family calls me.
When last did we see you in the palace? Greetings, Solanash.
It's Erenville now, Dawntrail. I took the name while abroad.
Erenville, then. And these others? I assume are Lamati's recruited allies. Ha! All tempered steel.
Yet as much as I'd enjoy testing their metal, the hour of the right is at hand. I will summon the other claimants at once.
Then I shall leave you to it. Good fortune, my friends.
You again.
The claimants are assembled. The first promise, Sorolja. The second promise, Ona. The third promise, Uglamat. And lastly, the chosen of Mamuk, Bakun Jaja. You four will compete in the right of succession, the outcome of which will decide who takes my place as Dawn Servant. I am not the man I once was. My wiser half sleeps the days away. And it is time I yield my position. But mine is a torch that has never been passed. Tuliyola is young. So I look to the always for inspiration. The right of succession. The means by which the autarch of Mamuk was chosen. Only the two-headed were deemed fit for this contest. But the Tuliyola I built is a nation of many peoples. Our leader needn't have two heads, nor be a Mamunja at all. So I gave the right of claimant, not only to the son I sired, but to my adopted children as well. Yet the opportunity to rule was still not equal. That is why a recent tournament offered a place in the contest as the winning prize.
Now you have us to compete against. Oh, though it seems the one-head was already too afraid to face us in the tournament.
Our brother was in Shock Tural leading the Landsguard on a campaign to eradicate a Tural Vidral. Anyone with sense would know he was too busy for games.
Now for the part you've been waiting to hear. The nature of the contest itself. To triumph in the right of succession, and thereby claim our nation's throne, you must travel the lands of Yogg-Tural and find the City of Gold.
That's why he wanted it investigated.
If I may, Father.
Speak, Kona.
The Golden City is an ancient Turali legend, but after so many failed attempts to find it, The story has become more fairy tale than fact. If you would charge us with such a quest, are we then to assume you have proof of the city's existence?
Are you for a spoof, my unbroken word? For I have seen it with my own 4 eyes.
The city's real. All those years.
This was before the founding of Tuliyomo. I traveled the lands of Tural with my companions. And we ended our journey at the gates to the Golden City. I need to have you do the same. But in order to achieve victory proper, you need to break the seal I put in place. Bring them.
Tuliyola saga.
You will retrace the path I walked to unite our peoples step by step. Along the way, 7 chosen electors will be waiting to measure your worth. Earn their keystones by performing the feats they ask of you. Once you've fitted each of the 7 tablets with the keystone, you'll have the key to unlock the seal on the Golden City's gates.
So the contest is in stages, none of which can be skipped by rushing to the ultimate objective.
Exactly. Exciting, isn't it?
Martial tournaments, hunting festivals, and now this? You do so love your contests, Papa.
Were I a few years younger, I would have joined in myself, giving you a proper challenge. You may think the ride is tedious or nonsensical, or both, but I am yielding our nation's throne. Let me have this final indulgence.
A waste of time. Just name Bakunja as successor and be done with it.
The rite of cessation begins now. I'll be watching you progress with great interest. And Clemens, remember to collect your tablets before you leave. You are one of Lamanchi's allies. Speak freely.
I like this guy.
I am Cryo Baldessian, representative of the students Baldessian. My name is perhaps familiar to you?
Ah.
It would seem you sent this letter to my orders some years ago. The ink has since faded and much of the writing is illegible. Even so, we managed to determine the essence of it. A request to investigate the Golden City, addressed to my grandfather, Galuf. Included with the correspondence was this earring. A fairy tale and a piece of jewelry were enough to convince my grandfather to sail halfway across the world. So there is surely some greater mystery at work here. On behalf of the students, I've come to seek clarification on the matter. Have you any knowledge you might share with me?
No, not at this time. I have tasked the claimants with finding the Golden City. To fulfill your request would afford one of them an unfair advantage in the right of succession. But once the contest is decided, I plan to entrust the entire truth to my successor. If you want to hear it, then you had best help the Machi win.
Very well, Dawn Servant. On my honor as a student of Baldessian, I will find your Golden City. Thank you for hearing my petition.
I wanted to go around with Papa.
How about that? She's grown into a remarkable young woman. You should be proud, Galuf.
Too late to change your mind now, I suppose. But are you sure you wish to be part of this? Our third promise is not wont to take no for an answer. Though you may have agreed to help, I worry that you were swept up in her relentless enthusiasm. Or perhaps you've been lured by the glory of the Golden City. Either way, this contest for the throne will place you and yours at the heart of political turmoil. If you are second-guessing your decision, tell me now. This may be my last chance to help you withdraw.
Life is a series of journeys, my friend. And there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another.
I want to see where this journey leads.
So you are committed to your path? I will speak no more of it then. As for my own involvement, I can no longer conduct myself as a mere guide, I think. Not after the Dawn Servant's revelation.
Here they come! It's Saralja! Such a fearsome mien. Make no mistake, there goes Tuliola's mightiest warrior.
First promise, our village needs aid. The cold weather stunts our crops, and the children of our village go hungry. Once you ascend the throne, I beg of you, grant my people new lands, please?
Serelja.
Take heart, tiller of the soil. The Resilion son, blood heir to the Dawn servant, has heard your pleas.
Soralja, the first promise, the commander of the Landscape. Serelja, the Palaceer. As he was so careful to remind the crowd, Soralja is indeed the natural child of Guru Jaja.
And Resilient Son, is that another title, like the first promise?
After a fashion, common knowledge has it that two-headed Mamulja cannot sire children. Yet Soralja was born all the same, with the head of Resolve's features and the head of Reason's scales. An extraordinary example of life's unyielding resilience.
And a warrior's reticence. He says little, but the way he moves... I know a hardened soldier when I see one.
He's a natural swordsman, a gift he inherited from his father. Some even say that the son has already surpassed the sire. Should he come to power, the first promise means to employ that martial prowess in the conquest of foreign lands. For this, he and his supporters have been labeled expansionists. This puts him in direct opposition to Wuklamat, who advocates for the preservation of peace. You may recall that she spoke of a claimant who cannot be allowed to rule. That is Soralja, the warmonger.
Cryon, are you all right?
The echo. It gave me a glimpse into Zoralja's ambitions. Deep and unknowable, like an abyss. Yet at the same time, a roaring, unquenchable fire. It was a trifle terrifying, to be frank.
Second promise, you must bring us more marvelous conveniences. More dirigibles and trains and the like. We need you in charge to make trading easier.
The elders, they complain and complain about abandoning tradition. But we're not like them, afraid of everything foreign and new.
You have our wholehearted support. With your ingenuity and knowledge, you're sure to win the contest.
Forgive me, but the right of succession is barely begun. I will hear your petitions if and when I am named Dawn Servant. If you will excuse me.
Plain spoken, as always.
That's Arcona. Practical to a fault.
Here we have Kona, the second promise, who spent time as a pupil at Charlian's own studio.
Now that you mention it, I think I did see him in the halls once or twice. There was nothing to suggest he was Turali, much less from a royal family.
That was by design. He forwent his usual garb and took an Eorzean name to avoid attention.
So it was Kona who introduced the dirigibles. And the railway too, given what we just heard.
In furtherance of his goal, to enrich Tuliolal with every bright notion he learned of in Charlian. He is the hope of those who prize innovation. As aloof as he may seem, Kona and Wuklamat actually get along rather well. They bicker and banter as only close siblings do.
How gracious of you all to cheer the lesser claimants.
Don't do anything you would regret.
Oh, come now. What are you afraid of? I'm no different from your Dawn servant. That my kind should reign is Mamulja tradition. It has been so since before there was a Tuliyola. I'll brush aside your feeble contenders. And then you'll see who deserves you fealty.
Well said, brother.
And we were told Zeral was the warmonger.
The Mamulja finally found peace in Tuliolal. A pity those fanatics are intent on keeping that tradition alive.
The chosen of Mamuk, Bakul Jaja, winner of the recent martial tournament, and the only claimant not of the Dawn's promise. His strength is undeniable, but you see how he is. A few devoted Mamulja are his only supporters.
What would he do with the throne should he win it?
His policies and so forth. I doubt he's thought much beyond winning the contest itself. But one thing seems certain. If he does become Dawn Servant, he will see the Mamulja exalted as the ruling class, and all others forced into subservience.
Sounds like another that cannot be allowed to rule.
Wiklamat has a few close fans.
We wish for one thing and one thing only, Third Promise. To abide together in harmony with our neighbors whom we love in this land we share. It is our way, the Turoli way.
Galul Jaja built for us this peaceful nation, and we beg you to preserve it.
You have my word. I won't let your pleas go unanswered.
Until Tuliolal was founded some 80 years ago, this continent was ravaged by war. The eldest among us remember that dark era, and they are Wuklamat's most ardent supporters.
Apologies, it's hard to get away. This is Namika, my childhood nursemaid. She's been like a mother to me my whole life. I told her it wasn't necessary, but she insisted on seeing us off.
I place our precious Third Promise into your care. Did you know Wuklamat was taking part in the rite of succession?
Of the Dawn's Promise? I thought it was only Zoralja and Kona. If she has any accomplishments to her name, I've yet to hear them.
Compared to the two Mamulja, she pales in martial prowess. And then there's Kona, who's far and away the most educated of the bunch. I hate to say it, but it's hardly a competition.
It's fine. I understand how much better my brothers are than me.
Better? Wuklamat. I have never thought of you as the lesser sibling. Your brothers may excel in their respective ways, but you boast qualities that both lack. A strength that is yours alone. Having cared for you for so long, I should know.
Thank you, Namika. Well, we ought to be on our way.
Yes, hurry along. I await word of your victory with bated breath.
As you just witnessed, Wiklamat has no great army of supporters. Not yet, at least. I know not what drives Zoralja, but it engulfs him like an inferno. The two-headed claimant Buckle Jaja treats everyone around him as lesser beings. No doubt he tried to elevate the Mamoja above other races should he become Dawn Servant, not unlike how the Garlean Empire afforded special status to pure-blood Garleans. So Kona, the second promise, is intent on developing his country by means of Charlene invasion. Given his background, I suppose it should come as no surprise. Well, so much for the brief union I had in mind. Papa is not one to waste time when he decides to act. I'm used to it by now, of course, but others are often caught off guard. In any case, we should talk about how we're going to find the City of Gold. All we have to work with are the 7 tablets and their connection to the Tulialal saga. Might I suggest first comparing the tablets against the pillars? We could check for any discrepancies between them. Good idea. Let's go take a look. Can I go see? Can I go see Google Cha-Cha again? I don't think I can. Oh, there we go. So I was kind of right. This is kind of a story about basically El Dorado. But it is not an unenjoyable story. I won't give up until we find the Golden City for Wiklamat as well as myself. I wasn't expecting events to progress that quickly, but I won't complain. The contest is the main reason we're here, after all. The preparation of intricately carved tablets for every claimant must have taken considerable effort and forethought. We should consider them weighty reminders that this contest is no lighthearted matter. At a glance, they seem very much the same. That makes everyone. Wiklamat, the tablets, if you would. Of course. Everyone has a tablet? Now let's compare them to their respective pillars. Keep an eye out for even the smallest differences. Unless I'm missing something, the glyphs appear to be identical. The only difference being that the tablets have these hollows where the keystones are to be fitted. So now that we've established that the scenes are the same, where do we go from here? The Dawn Servant said we were to retrace the path he walked in uniting Tyrell's peoples, and that we would encounter 7 electors along the way. Then we have the answer here right in front of us. Papa's path is laid out in the Tulali saga. The events the glyphs portray. Do we know the exact locations where they took place? If one is close, we could go there and search for an elector. That would confirm we're on the right track. Let me think. The Lay of Reeds is in the nearby Hanu Hanu settlement. Papa took me there once. It was during festival season, and the whole village was alive with good cheer. There's also the Lay of Gold, the one that involved the Pelu Pelu people, which is about the same distance from here. Before going anywhere, we should ask around about the road ahead. I heard a lot of people talk as we toured the city about that storm we passed through at sea. Apparently, it ravaged Yogg-Toghrul several days ago. Since our roads are not as well paved as Eorzea's, they're more susceptible to damage from natural disasters. If we want to avoid wasting time taking a dead-end trail, I suggest we spend a few moments making inquiries. If it's information we need, just leave it to me. I'll bring the information to us. It would be prudent to ensure we've prepared for the journey. I'll guide you to the accommodations I've arranged. Such lovely little cottages, and they're on water. Wicklemat said she would bring the information to us. I wonder what she meant by that. What a comfort to have our lodgings sorted in advance. That's right, the reservation is under Wicklemat's name, if you don't mind. I'll leave my companions to you. Certainly, sir. I'll go track down the third promise. Once you've finished organizing your gear, you can meet us outside Zabaliov TA. Greetings, visitors to Tulialal, and welcome to the Forard Cabins. Whenever you are ready, I will show you to your rooms. Trust you need to be the keenest to head out. Where is Arenval and Wicklemat, I wonder? Oh good, you're all here. Who might your companions be? Seeing as we need information, I thought who better to get it from than the locals. These two hail from the villages we are thinking to visit. I give you credit for taking initiative, at least. What do you mean, at least? I am honored that the third promise would seek my advice. I too am happy to answer your questions. Any encounter might be an opportunity to do business. Thank you both for your help. Before we begin, there will doubtless be occasions when we need to act independently, so I brought these for you, for the two of you. Link pearls, I bet. What's this? It is called a link pearl, a gemstone harvested from a special shell. When linked together, they allow people to communicate or cross great distances. Is that so? What a handy thing to have. It'll be very useful on our travels. Speaking of which, I should get back to introducing my two new friends here. Tuliala Saga features a number of Tyrol's clans. Two of those, the Hanu Hanu and the Pelu Pelu, have settlements relatively close to the city, so I brought a representative of each. As I mentioned before, the Hanu are a cheerful people who love their festivals. They make their appearance in They make their appearance in the Lay of Reeds. Whoops. And that was my finger right-clicking. And their village, Okhanu, is located in Kozamauka. The other, smaller fellows of the Pelu is one of the Pelu, a clan of business-minded folk from Urkapacha. They appear in the Lay of Gold and craft all kinds of marvelous goods at Wechin Pelo, their village. Now, as for deciding which village to visit first, why don't you put the adventurous instinct of yours to work for us, Lack? Pick our destination. Second path will become available from the respective NPC once you complete a series of quests from the first path. Furthermore, story elements and quest rewards will not be affected by your initial choice of path. Speak with the NPC you prefer and embark on the trail for the rite of succession. New dawn, new hunt. Hi. Minded to have a lot of things in the same place. It is good. What do we have here? And then the hunts will expand as I get further in the levels. Dawn hunts. Blue cat, blue coat cat, wild ride barding, and then Neo Kingdom armor. I might want to take a look at these. Interesting design for a scythe. Very Assassin's Creed-like. I approve. I imagine these unlock soon after taking the next quest. Sights of the West. I'll probably leave that for next time. Almost 4 hours. Jeez. Alright. I have been Okami Thraction. I shall see all of you again later. Alright. Have a good day. Bye.